Hello everyone, I am back and today we are building a countryside cottage. I don't actually know what I'm going to call this build yet. That is a problem for future me. But yeah, I guess you guys know because the video is released. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I feel like when I first started building this cottage, I thought it'd be a bit more countryside-y, a bit more rustic-y. Obviously it is in the countryside. We're building again in Henford-on-Bagley. So anything there is kind of countryside vibes. But yeah, I thought it might be really countryside-y, a bit more farmy, if you know what I mean. But when I started building, it just kind of became, I don't know, it's just really nice in the end. It really I feel like it's been tastefully renovated. So yeah, just very clean, very fresh. And to be honest, could even be a rental lot. When I was doing it, I felt like, because like I say, it is there's not much clutter. It just feels very inviting, and yeah, in that way it could be somewhere where you rented, or maybe like a family own it and rent out in the summer or something when they're not in it. I don't know, something like this. But yeah, and it's quite a big cottage actually. It's got 4 bedrooms. One of the bedrooms at the moment though is set up as a little office, which I guess kind of doesn't work with the rental vibes. So I guess it probably is someone's home. Don't get me wrong. These people that live here, maybe they're just very tidy. I could never, but maybe they just don't have much clutter, which is, I say, good on them, because yeah, maybe they just know how to keep everything nice and clean. But yeah, so the 4th bedroom is set up as an office, but obviously you can change it to however you want. It is a very small bedroom, that one, so the 4th bedroom is pretty small. So, but could be whatever you want. But yeah, and I had a lot of fun with the exterior. I really wanted to use these wall pieces that come in the debug with the cottage living pack to create this kind of, just interesting front garden. I felt like perhaps it was sort of original walls that were there, or there used to be a higher wall that sort of went round the house perhaps, but over the years have sort of gone, but they've kept them just for some sort of like interest. I don't know, it's probably not that realistic, a wall structure, but it makes for some interesting shapes for the front garden, some sort of little seating areas and things like that, just so it's not kind of just, a sort of a rectangle, it just gives it a bit of dimension. But yeah, but you'll see I sort of play around with the front quite a bit. I'm always chopping and changing the trees and things. I don't know why the trees are difficult to pick on this lot. So they change a few times, but yeah, just trying to make it somewhat realistic, somewhat sort of like, like different textures and things. So yeah, so I play around with the front quite a lot. I think we're out here for a lot of the video, I want to say. The inside I feel like came along quite quickly compared to the outside. Don't know why. But yeah, so very traditional looking from the outside, really nice stone, and I sort of carry that through on the inside, so we still have the nice sort of like stone walls on the inside that stay white. But I do like to add some like beams, not beams on the ceilings, but just beams on the walls, just again to, like pay homage to how it would have been. But like I say, someone has definitely renovated it very nicely. They obviously have a lot of money, And you'll see to the right, there's this obviously part of the cottage that sticks out. And I like to think that was an extension. You'll see obviously I've used the doors and windows from the greenhouse pack. I always forget the name of it. I think it's greenhouse gardening, something like that pack, which I'm sorry, I'm very obsessed with. I know I've used them in a lot of my builds recently. I just think they're so nice, and any opportunity to use a window that can be open and a window that can be closed, I really do enjoy, because it just makes it so much more realistic, right? Having a bit of difference, not just having all closed windows, having the option to have one that's the same but open, fun. So yeah, so I like to think that is an extension that was put on a bit later, but they've managed to find matching stone. I did think about using a slightly different stone, obviously to kind of look like, it's been done later, so they couldn't find the exact same stone, but I just kind of liked using the same one. So, but I do add some detail later on to like the corners of the build, of the cottage, so like some more stone detailing, which I feel like a lot of cottages have, and you'll see that I do something to kind of make it, I sort of make a join to the extension part around the back to try and give that idea as well. So yeah, so I think that's an extension. It's a bit more modern in there with that kind of like big doors and big windows. So here I am. I'm starting the sort of detailing I was talking about on the corners. I see this a lot, not just on cottages, but obviously on older buildings. They have that kind of like stone detailing, which I think is really, really nice. And I know that some wallpapers have the kind of option to have the corner detail, but I mean, it never works exactly how you want, right? You always end up having one corner with one of it on, and then the other corner doesn't have it on, and then just it can be a bit sad. But so here you'll see I put the stone detail going down, even though we're not on a corner, because in my mind that originally would have been where there would have been a corner. And then what I do actually do is put some like next to it in a minute when I do the extension part. So it's almost like they've done that. So the stone, that's where the stone has joined. So the old cottage connected to the new part of the extension. That's kind of where I was going with it. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's just kind of, it made me feel better, because it made me feel like that was like showing how it joined together. But yeah. So you'll see me do it now. So yeah, do you see what I mean? It's kind of like where they join together. But yeah, so we're in Henford-on-Bagley again. I thought it'd be nice to build a nice little cottage, so relaxing. It's actually giving me kind of Cotswold vibes, kind of that kind of place that this would be. The stone, definitely, the colour of the stone, that's kind of where I feel like this would be. But yeah, I mean, I guess it could be in many different places, really. Anywhere nice in the country where there'd be some nice little old cottages. And you'll see me here. You see, I just chop and change these trees. Who knows why? I mean, a tree is a tree. But look, I'm just swapping them all. I was just feeling very particular about my trees. I didn't want it to feel too crowded, too kind of, just like that you couldn't see the house, I wanted you to be able to see the house. I didn't want there to be too many trees covering it. So that's kind of, I was just trying to find some that I felt worked, So so we're now on the interior. So that was quite long. I spent a long time on the outside. But anyway, now on the interior, and I actually really, really enjoyed the interior of this house. It's probably one of those builds that it's rare that I think I might have enjoyed the interior more than the exterior doing it. Don't know why. Mainly the downstairs, and to be honest, mainly this room. Because I really enjoyed using the stairs as kind of like dividing the room rather than having two set rooms. So obviously we have this long, I have it so like the whole of the front of the original cottage is one big room, and then the stairs kind of divide it. And then using those pillars, which I love these pillars. Like, I know I use them a lot, but they are just so great. Like, I just think they look so rustic, especially when you put them up against the wall. Which I do right near the end. I decide to actually add some more into the wall, because at the moment you'll see that I've just gone for the stone wall paper, and then I do end up adding some sort of the like timber pillars here and there, just to add a bit of texture and sort of like, what there would be, maybe the original pillars, but not like too many, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that it just gives such a vibe having like that separate the room. I don't know why, I enjoyed it. And then what I've done is I've kind of, because obviously the walls and the floor are very just like neutral, I felt like using objects and things in the rooms to give colour rather than the walls, if you know what I mean. So I've gone for like a nice like light blue sofa, that's a really nice sofa that I haven't used much, and I just think it makes a very formal sitting area. And those with the alcove storage, I mean, I love alcove storage. I don't know if you can tell, but any opportunity, putting in a fireplace, got to have some storage either side. I just think it's just the perfect use of space, really. And then, so that side of the room was a sort of like very formal sitting area, and then this is, well, the dining space. But I like that it's one room. I think that's really nice flow. And then obviously into the kitchen, which is at the back of the house here. So I just felt like the flow of the house. I just really enjoyed it. I really, really did. So yeah. And the kitchen, do you know what? I don't know if anyone else has had this problem with the kitchens. I found that there is like a particular clutter item, which I don't know if this is a new thing or if I have just missed the boat. I mean, I could have just missed something. But there is a clutter item, I don't know what it's called, but I've used it a couple of times in my builds, where it's like a little pot with some utensils in. And I didn't realise, but when you put it on a countertop, even like right in the corner, which is, I tend to do that to keep obviously the countertop free, to be able to play, to cook on or whatever for your Sims. And I swear, I've always put things on countertops and most of the items are absolutely fine. Like, I've had countertops covered in things and my Sim will still cook on them. But for some reason, this particular clutter item, I put it in 2 different builds recently, and yeah, like even when it's right tucked in the corner and it shouldn't affect the usable space, it makes it not usable. So, and obviously I playtest all my builds, and yeah, I was just really disappointed that one of my builds on the gallery, the countertop doesn't work. Someone lovely commented on the gallery to let me know, which I'm really grateful for, so that at least then as well other people can see that all you need to do is obviously move one of the items off the countertop. But I just don't know why. Yeah, I was really surprised that has happened. I don't know if this is has this just changed? Because I playtested it and I could cook fine, but now when I cook, I can't. So I don't know if it's just a bug. I don't know. It's really, really peculiar. But yeah, strange. So now I'm not using that clutter item, let me tell you. I am staying well clear. But yeah, really, really strange. But anyway, side note that was. This is the little extension room. So you'll see that obviously, I say little, it's pretty big to be honest. I've made it like this very nice sitting area with a TV. So much more relaxed than obviously the one that was in the front room. Much more formal that was. This one's much more relaxed. You come in, chill, got a much more modern fireplace. I just think, yeah, really, really nice. Just having that sort of different space, or, and if, for example, if you had children in The Sims, in that family, they can just go in there, and then the parents can be in the other room. It's just nice to have that other space, I think. And it can be anything. That could be your office if you wanted it to be. It can be anything you want, or another bedroom, or a dining room. The sky is the limit, really. So yeah, I just enjoy that. And then working on the upstairs, again, you'll see it's very, very neutral still. All the rooms, very clean, very fresh. And this is why it was giving me definite rental Airbnb vibes, because I was it's just it's not pristine. It is pretty pristine, but just this very neat, tidy, and it would be somewhere nice to stay, I think, as well. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot less colour in the upstairs rooms than the downstairs. But we do put a bit there, here and there. And you'll see I put a lot of fireplaces in this house. I feel like there should be. And I even actually add one in the dining room. Because at first I was a bit I did want to put one in the dining room. But I was worried that the Sims would not walk around the dining table. Because I know they can be quite fussy sometimes about what they will or won't do. But actually, they were fine with it. They managed just fine. They can sit at the dining table. They're all fine. So yeah, so there's a lot of fireplaces in this cottage, because I feel like there just would be. Obviously it's got the chimneys on either side of the cottage. So there would be fireplaces obviously downstairs and upstairs for every chimney. So yeah, a lot of fireplaces. I really would. So this is the tiny little office room. Again, could be a bedroom, or it could be anything really, just a little reading room. But yeah, I just made it a tiny little office. I thought it was quite sweet, and kind of fitted with the vibes of maybe it is someone's second home. That's very luxurious, right? For this to be your second home. But maybe they work from home and this is their second home, and they live in the city, and then they go to the countryside every so often just to unwind, but then they can still work from home, It's kind of what I was going for, Just very nice. Just nice. All round nice little cottage to live in. And then this is the third bedroom, which is still fairly small. The biggest room is obviously the master room, and then the 2 other bedrooms that have been set up are still quite small, but they're nice size, I'd say, for a teen or a child or a toddler or an infant Sim, whatever age. But yeah, just very, like I say, clean, fresh. And here I am adding in the beams, as I said, I wanted to have some sort of like timber going throughout just to add some detail and just to kind of replicate like what perhaps it would have been like years gone by. I don't put any on the ceiling. I do love that. I think it always looks great, doesn't it, when you add like it beams on the ceiling. But I know it can be a little bit annoying to look at when there's just like these like lines going through a build. So I didn't do it because I know that it looks great, but obviously in terms of like if you're playing in the house or whatever, it might just get a little bit annoying. So I didn't do that. But yeah, so I'm just finishing up on the outside now. Not much going on in this garden, to be honest. I think I just put a little washing line and then just do some terrain in, as I do. Try to make it look a bit more natural, because I have to say, I love Henford-on-Bagley. It's lovely having a British inspired world, but the grass, I find the grass quite odd. I mean, I find the grass quite odd in most worlds, but here particularly, it's just too, I don't know, like I think it looks like leaves. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I think it looks like ivy or something on the floor. So I always try to just like, add a bit of different terrain painting just to make it look a bit different, and adding in those debug like grass, if you know what I mean. So like the 3D grass, 'cause I think that's always fun to have a bit of 3D. So obviously grass isn't like, flat on the ground. But yeah, so yeah, just trying to make that look a bit more natural. But it's pretty empty, so you can put whatever you want out here. You could add a little pond if you want to, or some like play equipment, anything you fancy. But there we are. So we're finished with that one. I will leave you with some screenshots and see you in the next one. Bye!